Dear Insomniac Games, thank you for bringing one of the most memorable superhero games to the market. My first introduction to Spider-Man was when I was a young toddler. I remember watching the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon and playing the PlayStation 1 Spider-Man games as a child. And as the years went on, there were so many iterations on the small screen and on the big screen, and never would I have thought fast forwarding to 2023 I would be introduced to one of my favourite iterations of Spider-Man in a video game. Everyone argues the best Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire, but for me I have to give credit to Yuri Lowenthal for an incredible performance. I mean, this line alone shows him completely embodying the character.
I didn't know there were bears in these woods. Okay, before we get down to business, there's something I have to tell you. I'm fresh out of honey.
It's rare when a game makes me laugh, but playing this game the entire weekend, earphones in, blinds down, I was immersed in the world, and it was a joy to play in it. So with that said, in this video I will discuss my wish list for what I want out of Spider-Man 3 to help push to be one of the best superhero games in gaming history. I think it'd be about time someone takes Batman off its high horse, and this will be a spoiler warning for the story for Spider-Man 2. Last warning, you're still here? Right, let's get into it. Number 1. The open world. The Spidey jungle gym that a whole lot doesn't happen. I love Insomniac's New York, and it's only gotten bigger, from the introduction of Spider-Man's hometown Queens to Coney Island and the finished reconstruction of Fisk Tower. However, bigger doesn't always mean better, and the usual assortment of standard open world activities is abundantly present in Spider-Man 2, and it's an area where the game hasn't advanced or displayed much ambition. Collectibles, photo opportunities and fairly basic street level crimes remain, and while there are a few minor improvements this time around, they've only occasionally managed to generate excitement. You will frequently find yourself foiling the same gateway attempts with repetitive button presses or thwarting break-ins by taking down the same group of thugs. While the increased variety of enemies does extend the shelf life of these activities compared to previous iterations, it still doesn't provide enough of a twist to justify choosing to photograph amateur cosplayers over saving people from a raging house fire, which can come across as somewhat absurd. This feedback echoes the sentiments, and I hope the next installment of Spider-Man incorporates more engaging, diverse side content to elevate the overall experience. Number 2. One-shot camera. I love when game developers try and flex new ideas. 2018's God of War done this in spades. With a new mythology, new combat, and the introduction of the one-shot camera, this was a game changer for me. The continuous one-shots can enhance storytelling by allowing for smooth transitions between different scenes, locations and characters. I mean, who wasn't impressed by this scene alone?
You okay? I'm working on it!
With the possible introduction of a third Spidey character, I would love to see Insomniac take a page out of Sony Santa Monica's playbook and add this to the game. Spider-Man 2 demonstrated the technical achievement of what they're capable of, and this would showcase they're able to go to greater heights to showcase their ability to create complex, seamless game worlds and show off the potential of modern game and storytelling. Number 3. Gameplay mechanics. My god, was this game fun to play. You know you got something special on your hands when just chatting around the city with exhilarating velocity, using slingshots, web swinging and wingsuits gives you hours of entertainment. So much so, I didn't even use the fast travel, not even once. That said, it's not without its flaws. One of my main points of critique centres around the boss fights and the stealth missions. I do acknowledge Insomniac's effort to diversify the gameplay and avoid monotony. However, when you juxtapose what MJ can accomplish with a stun gun against the incredible acrobatic and capabilities of a superhero, it doesn't seem to align logically in terms of gameplay. So please Insomniac, for the love of God, please remove these stealth sequences in your next game. Moreover, some of the boss battles in this game left me feeling less than impressed. When I envision what constitutes as an acceptable boss fight, I imagine a challenge that compels me to strategize rather than resorting to mindless button bashing. Something that demands me to pause and contemplate my actions, dodge and then strategically engage. In the case of Kraven, I believe the game missed an opportunity to treat him as Spider-Man's equivalent to Mr. Freeze. Kraven is renowned as the ultimate predator, and while the game effectively showcased this aspect through its cutscenes, the same level of depth wasn't consistently reflected in the gameplay. I desired a confrontation where I could be outsmarted, the man who has meticulously studied every facet of my ability, and an opportunity to prove that he had committed a critical miscalculation was missed. Speaking of button mashing, one simple change I would love to see is the implementation of a targeting system that allows me to focus on one enemy at a time. Fortunately for the majority of the game, this feature wasn't a critical necessity. However, there were distinct instances, particularly during some of the boss battles, such as the one with Lizard, where I found myself grappling with the need of a targeting system. These encounters emphasised the importance of timely dodges, stuns and parries, and there were moments where having a targeting system could have considerably aided me in meeting the game's demands. While the absence of a targeting system was not a major hindrance throughout most of the gameplay, there were specific boss encounters like the one with Lizard, where its conclusion could have significantly enhanced the overall gaming experience. It'd be a testament to the adaptability and fine-tuning that could make future iterations of the game even more engaging and immersive. Number 4. The villains. When we talk rogues gallery, the big debate is between Spider-Man and Batman. Insomniac demonstrated why Spider-Man's rogue gallery is so iconic. They do a fantastic job making you empathise with the villain or making you completely hate them. However, you still find yourself rooting for them. Even though they are a complete psychopath, this was demonstrated by Kraven the Hunter, whose whole premise is he doesn't want to die by an illness. Instead, he wants to go out fighting his equal and no one is going to stand in his way. What impressed me was, even though his goals were completely immoral, intertwining themes of coming to terms with death, grief and anxiety made you really understand what made these characters tick. This was demonstrated in this scene when Kraven found his equal in Venom. One character who's been set up to be the best villain is Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn assumes the role of a somewhat distant antagonist in the initial game. He serves both Mayor of New York and the property owner of Oscorp. After a re-election rally is targeted by a bomb attack, Osborn brings Silver Sable and Disable International to assume responsibility of the city's protection. This decision leads to a transformation of New York into a somewhat described as a police state, with the newly hired mercenary force frequently coming into conflict with Spider-Man and his associates as the game's narrative unfolds. Fast forward to Spider-Man 2, and Norman Osborn's character undergoes a significant evolution. Here he takes more of a fatherly role towards Peter Parker. His primary driving force is to protect and care for his son, Harry Osborn, going to extraordinary lengths to ensure Harry's well-being, all while using the tragic loss of his wife to fuel his determination. As the game progresses, his relationship with the two Spider-Men becomes increasingly strained, especially when Harry's health takes another turn for the worse. By the end of the game's conclusion, Norman Osborn shifts the blame onto the two Spider-Men for his son's deteriorating condition. This sets the stage for a complex and emotional charged dynamic between the characters. In the upcoming game, I'm eager to see Green Goblin undergo profound psychological transformation. His character should delve deeper into the complexity of his motivations and emotions. As Norman Osborn grapples with the consequences of his actions, his obsession with protecting his son should evolve into a more intricate and nuanced psychological struggle. This transformation can bring to light the inner conflicts, vulnerabilities and blurred lines between hero and villain. Green Goblin's journey should take him on a path of self-discovery, allowing him for a deeper exploration of his character's psyche in the next installment. Number 5. We're in the end game now. If Spider-Man is Insomniac's Iron Man and Spider-Man 2 it's Civil War, the natural progression for the next installment is unmistakably its Infinity War, with the subsequent fourth installment resembling an endgame. An intriguing direction I'd love to witness from Insomniac is the resolution of loose ends introduced in the Carnage storyline side missions. As the narrative continues to evolve, placing Carnage and Null at the forefront as the primary antagonists in the fourth game. For those of you who are unaware of Null, he is a formidable god of the symbiote, a cosmic entity wielding dominion over the symbiote race, encompassing formidable entities like Carnage and Venom. His ominous objective is to cast the universe into chaos, employing his symbiotic army to attack the apocalyptic vision. Null's introduction hinted at powers similar to Venom's in Spider-Man 2, offering an exciting prospect for further exploration. In the upcoming Spider-Man 3, the scene could be set meticulously to set the stage for Carnage and Null, Emerging as essential adversaries, expanding upon unresolved threads from the previous game, the story could be set to take a dark turn. Carnage, now unrestrained and formidable menace, embarks on a rampage through New York, posing a dire threat not only to the city but the fabric of reality itself. Amidst this chaos, the enigmatic and ancient cosmic entity Null resurfaces, intensifying the impending crisis. With a formidable command over the symbiotes, he inspires to submerge the universe into darkness, unleashing devastating symbiote onslaught. I would love to see these two sinister forces converge and Spider-Man confront a challenge that will push his limits of his strength, intelligence and resolve like never before. The narrative threads left dangling from the previous game now entwined to weave the web of uncertainty in parallel, setting the stage for an electrifying and action-packed fourth installment in the series. In conclusion, as I reflect on the journeys through Insomniac's Spider-Man universe, I'm filled with nostalgia and admiration for the incredible experience the games have offered. Spider-Man has been an integral part of my life from the 1990s animated series to the PlayStation 1 games, and seeing my beloved hero brought to life in a video game has been nothing short of remarkable. Yuri Lowenthal's performance of Spider-Man has left an incredible mark, capturing the essence of the character and making it truly unforgettable. Insomniac's games have masterfully crafted a world that not only keeps players engaged, but also invites them to immerse themselves in the web-slinger's shoes swinging through New York City's skyscrapers. However, while acknowledging the game's strengths, it's also essential to address its flaws. The open world design, although expansive, could benefit from more ambitious and diverse side content to keep players engaged. Additionally, the boss fights and stealth sequences, while showing promise in terms of variety, require further refinement to ensure more seamless and logical gameplay experience. With this in mind, we're poised to be what promises to be a captivating and action-packed continuation of the Spider-Man saga. Insomniac Games have proven their ability to deliver an exceptional superhero experience, as we eagerly await what's in store for the future of our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. If you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching. Please subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys soon. Yoink out.